Leo Risings 2023 is a big year of career breakthroughs and also of financial responsibility along the way. If you're excited to get into what 2023 holds in store for your rising sign, which is so crazy for me to be saying, I remember being like 2019 yearly forecasts and knowing that no one was going to watch them, but I just did them for me. So it's big. I'm very thankful to be here today, so thank you guys, because I'm here because of you. But anyway, if you're excited to get into your 2023 forecast for your rising sign, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. So we're going to start out talking about the 4 major themes for you as a Leo rising. Then we're going to pull a tarot card, then we'll get into the exact dates. So there is a huge Taurus pileup this spring in your 10th house of career, showing that career growth and your professional life has a huge breakthrough that is disruptive yet positive. Secondly, Pluto will be briefly entering your Aquarius 7th house before retrograding back out. So there will be a brief preview of relationship transformation on a deeper level around the same time as that Taurus pileup as well, spring. Then Saturn will be entering your Pisces 8th house. Saturn's a planet of restriction and commitment, and it's entering your 8th house of shared finances and investments. That will be something that you're becoming more mature, responsible, and adult around over the next 3 years. And finally, the North Node will enter your Aries 9th house, and the South Node will enter your Libra 3rd house for the second half of the year, showing a commitment into higher education or travel on a really substantial level, and letting go of more day-to-day or more superfluous tasks that you might have been working on. The tarot card that we have for Leo risings for this 2023 is the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups shows someone turning away from abundance, turning away from success. Usually this comes up because we're taking a more inward, more dedicated, less glamorous route. It can show that we're discovering the deeper things in life and we do not want the petty shit anymore. So January starts with a bang. It's a very fast-paced, all systems go kind of month. For you, this is your 11th house of socializing and your 10th house of career mainly. So on the 12th, Mars will station direct in your Gemini 11th house. Thank God, Mars retrograde has been a long few months of rethinking or reworking some type of social dynamic that you're a part of. Now with Mars direct, you're ready to enforce boundaries and get things done. Also on the 18th, Mercury will be direct in your Capricorn 6th house, showing that you're moving forward with communicating around health or coworkers in a more constructive way. And finally, on the 22nd, Uranus will be direct in your Taurus 10th house, showing moving forward with career disruptions in a more future-focused way. In March, because we're skipping February, not that big of a month, in March, this is a month of major wins, major changes, and major confusion for you, primarily around foreign travel or higher education, and also your financials. So from the 1st to the 2nd, Venus will conjoin Jupiter in your Aries 9th house. This is extremely positive for plans around travel or education. You might be getting an opportunity or some good news that leads you to take a trip or to do something in education that's really substantial and really life-changing for you. And with Mercury conjoining Saturn in your 7th house, serious news from a partner or from a relationship that is really meaningful to you may be what catalyzes this good news. Then on the 7th, Saturn will enter your Pisces 8th house. So Saturn is a planet of restriction, of maturity, of challenge, and it spends 3 years in a sign. So for you, it'll be in your Pisces 8th house of investments, of shared finances, and of more adult or complicated financial things. So it looks like that's going to be an area of life of a lot more growth, a lot more commitment, and a lot more maturity over the next 3 years. On the 12th, Jupiter will conjoin Chiron in your Aries 9th house. Jupiter is expansion and Chiron is vulnerability. So you might be learning about or visiting through travel an area that is triggering to you or that is emotionally very vulnerable to you. It's a time of opening up emotional healing and growth. On the 13th to the 14th, Mars in your 11th house squares Neptune in your 8th house, showing that there's some effort or some tension socially because of confusion financially. And also on the 15th to the 17th, there's several planets in Pisces squaring Mars in your 11th house. There's a lot of financial focus that you're trying to put into things, but there's some tension with social groups that are leading that to be difficult and you're financially confused. On the 23rd, Pluto will enter your Aquarius 7th house. This is the preview of really substantial large-scale relationship transformations that will be taking place over the next 20 years, but you're getting a preview of that briefly over over this spring summer. And on the 25th, thankfully, Mars finally leaves your Gemini 11th house and enters your Cancer 12th house. So after 7 long months of Mars showing conflict or some aggression socially, it's now entering your 12th house of behind the scenes mental health, and could be a time that you're dealing with some more mental health issues or working on spirituality behind the scenes. Then on the 28th, Mercury will conjoin Jupiter in your Aries 9th house. You're being notified of something really optimistic around long distance travel or around education. And from the 30th to the 31st, Venus will conjoin Uranus in your 10th house. This seems like a really sudden career opportunity or really good career related news that is disruptive yet positive at the same time. And April continues to be a very optimistic and confident month, particularly around your studies or your travel or your high level beliefs. Because from the 11th to the 12th, the Sun will conjoin Jupiter in your Aries 9th house. This is wonderful for awakening to values, to beliefs, to philosophy, or having a breakthrough in your education or on a trip. On the 20th, there is then a total solar eclipse in your Aries 9th house. Solar eclipses are really substantial new beginnings that they catalyze growth over the next 6 months. And for you, it's in your 9th house of higher education or foreign travel, like an avenue is opening up for you. Maybe you're accepted into a program. Could also be a new beginning around religion or philosophical beliefs. And on the 21st, Mercury is stationing retrograde in your Taurus 10th house, showing that you're going back and reconsidering or having to work through projects in your career. Now in May, this is a month of some foundational breakthrough new beginnings in your career in particular. Because on the 5th, there is a lunar eclipse in your Scorpio 4th house. Lunar eclipses are endings or letting go, and for you, this is in your 4th house of family and living situations. There may be an ending around where you live or a relationship with your family. And from the 14th to the 21st, Jupiter in your 10th house of career will square Pluto in your 7th house of relationships. So this shows a background transit for much of the year that involves the growth of your career leading to a relationship transformation. On the 14th, Mercury is direct in your 10th house. Yay, Mercury retrograde is over. You're ready to move forward with your career and with communicating about it. And on the 16th, Jupiter enters your Taurus 10th house. So the planet of growth is now in your career sector. That is really positive. And on the 19th, there is a new moon in your Taurus 10th house, a really large scale new beginning that is very abundant and very uplifting around career for you. June does look like an initial opportunity that then leads to slowing down, because on the 1st, Jupiter will conjunct the North Node in your 10th house. Jupiter expands and the North Node is about the future or about ambition. So this is continuing on this new beginning around career for you. But on the 11th, Pluto retrograde will re-enter your Capricorn 6th house. So the relationship transformation preview period is over and you're now more focused on transforming your health. Then on the 17th, Saturn stations retrograde in your 8th house. You're rethinking boundaries, rethinking support, and rethinking your really mature actions around finances. On the 18th to the 24th, Jupiter in your 10th house will sextile Saturn in your 8th house. So there is some background opportunity in your career due to some shared finances. And on the 30th, Neptune will station retrograde in your Pisces 8th house, showing that you are rethinking the values or the ideal financial setup that you're having right now. July is a turning point of reconsideration. So on the 17th, the nodes will enter Aries and Libra. This shows that the North Node in your 9th house means moving forward with an academic or a belief-based or a travel-based plan. And the South Node entering your 3rd house shows going back and not having so much focus on day-to-day tasks or mundane matters. From the 19th to the 21st, Mars in your 2nd house will oppose Saturn in your 8th house. This can show some financial challenges or difficulties specifically around what you're allowed to do or what your investments are allowing you to do. On the 21st to the 22nd, the Sun in your 12th house will oppose Pluto in your 6th house, so be worried about some manipulation around people you're not expecting in the second half of July. And on the 22nd, Venus will station retrograde in your 1st house. So having Venus in your 1st house is lovely, but Venus retrograde shows reconsideration of values, so you may be reconsidering some aesthetic choices, the way that you look, or how you put forward your values. Also, from the 23rd to the 25th, Pluto will be at the bending of the nodes. This is the 90-degree angle between the North and the South node. It shows a pivotal point to consider in order to balance out the North and the South node. So with Pluto in your 6th house of physical health and coworkers, making sure that you prioritize an authentic way of having physical health and of interacting with your coworkers may be a little bit of the solution to focusing less on your day-to-day tasks and more about your long-term goals in education or travel. Now, August is still slow, particularly financially for you. We will have Mars in your 2nd house opposing Neptune in your 8th house during the 23rd to the 21st, showing financial confusion confusion even as you're trying to make more money. And on the 23rd, Mercury will station retrograde in your Virgo second house, showing going back or reconsidering, recommunicating about money. And on the 28th, Uranus is stationing retrograde in your 10th house. So you're going back and rethinking career adjustments. You're going back to rethink all the changes in your career. Now, September does have the pace picking back up substantially, especially around your appearance, your identity, and your money, because from the 3rd onward, Venus will be direct in your Leo first house. So with Venus retrograde over, you're no longer rethinking or redoing something aesthetic or personality-wise. You're ready to really be recognized and admired. And on the 15th, Mercury will be direct in your 2nd house of finances. So that issue of communication or having to redo things will be over as well. October is a huge breakthrough cycle, especially around career and productivity for you. On the 10th, Pluto will station direct in your 6th house, showing moving forward with steps to transform your physical health or the way you're interacting with coworkers. And on the 14th, there's a solar eclipse in your Libra 3rd house. This is a really large-scale new beginning around communication or productivity and projects for you, so that's something that will be growing the end of the year onward. And on the 27th to the 30th, Mars in your 4th house will oppose Jupiter in your 10th house. This is showing some issues at home that are at odds with your career growth. So your career is going really well and there's some issues at home. And with Mercury and Mars conjunct in your 4th house, there may be an argument with a family member. On the 28th, there is a lunar eclipse in your Taurus 10th house, an ending or a letting go or a period of something completing really substantially around career for you. Then in November, there are some continued sudden changes. So the Sun in your 4th house will oppose Jupiter in your 10th house from the 2nd to the 3rd. This is showing a lot of focus at home and there's career opportunities and you're trying to balance the two out. Then the 3rd to the 4th, Venus in your 2nd house will oppose Neptune in your 8th house. Watch out for financial confusion even as these opportunities amount. On the 4th, Mercury in your 4th house will oppose Uranus in your 10th house. So career opportunities could be leading to some sudden disagreements and challenges around family, just continuing on. And on the 4th, Saturn stations direct in your Pisces 8th house. So Saturn direct shows the enforcing of boundaries or clarity around what steps you want to enforce financially for yourself and how you're going to be managing your money moving forward. From the 11th to the 18th, the Sun and Mars in your 4th house oppose Uranus in your 10th house. So again, the sudden growth of your career is leading to some issues around home and family. And finally, from the 24th of November onward, Mars in your 5th house will be squaring Saturn in your 8th house. So some developments around creative things for you that you're working hard on might lead to some financial blockages because there's some restrictions on how much money you can spend to pursue them. December does have a kind of shaky beginning but an optimistic ending. So on the 13th, Mercury will station retrograde in your Capricorn 6th house. So you're going to be going back and reconsidering coworkers or your health in a communication sense. On the 23rd, Mercury retrograde will enter your Sagittarius 5th house. So you might be having to go back and redo something creative or around someone that you're dating and working with them. And finally, on the 30th, we do really luckily have Jupiter stationing direct in your Taurus 10th house, showing moving forward with career growth and opportunity to end the year. And to start out 2024 on January 1st, Mercury will station direct in your Sagittarius 5th house, showing that communication will start moving forward more clearly for you around dating or creativity at the very beginning of 2024. Thoughts, predictions, or anything to say about what that already has coming for you, feel free to comment down below. Would love to hear from you and already your expectations or things you're looking forward to for this year. The Work Your Light Oracle deck card that we have for Leo Risings for this year, 2023, is Get Grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So throughout all these career opportunities, these disruptions, this massive growth of success, make sure to stay grounded and make sure that, one, it doesn't go to your head, and two, it doesn't throw you off. This was a helpful, informative guide to 2023. I put a lot of heart and soul into prepping for these, much more than normal, because I wanted these to be very important as the marinara sauce matures. It gets baked into the pizza, whatever. If you're new here, okay. I hope that this was, as I said, helpful and informative, and if you have any comments, I would always love to see them down below. I do scan through everything, and mostly I respond to what I can in the moment really recognize and see, but I do see almost everything, if not everything. I think I see everything, you know? Ping me multiple times if you really have an emergency. If not, like, I have a lot. I will see you in the next one.